Good afternoon to you all. Today we are going to discuss the pharmacotherapy of heart failure. Today's topic being pharmacotherapy of heart failure. So before starting pharmacotherapy of heart failure, we should know some introduction about heart failure. So, introduction, that is cardiac output is equal to stroke volume multiplied by heart rate, and this equation becomes insufficient to meet metabolic demands of the body in a patient having heart failure. And stroke volume determined by preload, afterload, and myocardial contractility. So, what is the definition of heart failure? So, we should conclude that is definition of heart failure. The heart failure is a condition in which the heart is unable to pump sufficient amount of blood to meet the metabolic demands of the body, and also unable to receive it back, because every time after a systole some residual blood remains in its ventricles. So pumping ability of heart and cardiac output both are decreased, and so ejection fraction of ventricles is also decreased. Next. Again, we are going to just give a glimpse on the types of heart failure. So, first being low output heart failure, which is the most common type of heart failure, and etiology being ischemic heart disease, hypertension, ventricular tachycardia, congenital heart disease, etc. Next, high output heart failure, heart failure which occurs due to increased metabolic demands of the body, even though cardiac output is increased, and its etiology being hyperthyroidism, anemia, arteriovenous shunts. Third type being systolic heart failure, which results due to inability of ventricles to pump adequately and its etiology being ischemic heart disease, myocarditis, atrial fibrillation. Here fibrillation has been misprinted fibrillation. So you should read it correctly, that is atrial fibrillation. Ejection fraction is less than 45%, normal more than 60%, and range being 55 to 65%. Diastolic heart failure, ventricles are not filled adequately during diastole due to inadequate relaxation of ventricles. Hypertrophy and stiffening of myocardium are causes commonly seen in hypertension, congenital heart disease. Next point, type, that is left-sided heart failure versus right-sided heart failure. Left-sided and right-sided heart failure do not routinely exist as separate entities, because over time, here it is misprinted, you should read it over time. Right-sided heart failure causes left-sided heart failures and vice versa. Next slide. Now look at this descriptive diagrammatic representation of sequence of events and compensatory mechanisms in heart failure. Heart failure, in his force of contraction and cardiac output both are reduced, and decreased cardiac output leads to decreased renal perfusion, which results in decreased glomerular filtration rate that leads to sodium and water retention, resulting in edema. And decreased cardiac output resulting in causing decreased renal perfusion also causes increased synthesis and release of renin, and which leads to increased synthesis of angiotensin 1 as well as angiotensin 2. And this angiotensin 2 increases preload as well as afterload of the heart. First. Second, it causes increased secretion of aldosterone, which results in sodium and water retention. Angiotensin 2 also and aldosterone both results in cardiac remodeling, responsible for cardiac remodeling. Again, decreased force of contraction and decreased cardiac output in heart failure. So look at on the left side of this diagram, that is causes increased sympathetic discharge, and this increased sympathetic discharge causes vasoconstriction as well as beta-1 activation. Vasoconstriction causes increased preload as well as afterload, and beta-1 activation causes increased force of contractions and increased heart rate. So initially increased cardiac output results via compensation, but later on worsen heart failures via decompensation. So on left side shows compensatory mechanisms, and on the right side causes, that is effects of or sequence of force of contraction and cardiac output both being decreased. Again, and this leads to again back pressure. Cardiac remodeling causes back pressures which results in edema, and this edema is of further three types. Again, sodium and water retention also causes edema, we have already discussed, and this edema is pulmonary congestion in the form of pulmonary congestion, causing or manifested as dyspnea, cyanosis, cough, bilateral cramps in the chest. Hepatic congestion causes enlarged liver, nausea, vomiting, and anorexia. Peripheral congestion causes generalized edema, tachycardia, engorged neck veins, and also found hepatojugular reflex. Okay. Now coming to the main point, pharmacotherapy of heart failures. So before starting pharmacotherapy of heart failure, here look at this table, that is classification of drugs used in heart failure has been shown. So first being drugs with positive inotropic action, and these include cardiac glycosides, Examples being digoxin, digitoxin and avobane mainly. But gitoxin and gitalin are also less important cardiac glycosides. Again, these cardiac glycosides are obtained from natural sources. Examples, that is digitalis purpurea yields digitoxin, gitoxin and gitalin, and digitalis lanata yields digitoxin, digoxin and gitalin, and avobane is obtained from Strophanthus gratus. Strophanthus gratus is avobane, and strophanthine is obtained from Strophanthus combi, also known as Strophanthus hispidus. These are the details about cardiac glycosides origin. Other inotropic drug is beta receptor agonists. Examples being dopamine, dobutamine, dopexamine. Third, inotropic drugs being PDE inhibitors, that is phosphodiesterase inhibitors, and these include inamrinone, milrinone, levosimendan and enoximone. Next group is drugs without positive inotropic action, and these include diuretics. Examples being furosemide, bumetanide, torsemide, thiazide, spironolactone and eplerenone. Others are ACE inhibitors, which include enalapril, ramipril, lisinopril, etc. Next, angiotensin receptor blockers, and these include drugs like losartan, valsartan, candesartan, olmesartan. Next, beta blockers, which includes bisoprolol, nebivolol, carvedilol, metoprolol. Vasodilators are other drugs. Examples being hydralazine, organic nitrates and sodium nitroprusside. Next group is vasopressin receptor antagonists, and these include conivaptan and tolvaptan. Next group is others, which includes carperitide and ularitide are atrial natriuretic peptides, and other urodilatin. Next group is under this heading is recombinant human relaxin 2 or serelaxin, and both decrease clinical features of congestion. Next group is omecamtiv mecarbil. This drug activates cardiac myosin complex. It also prolongs systole. Here misprint, not systole is not printed correctly, so you should read it. Prolongs systole without increasing oxygen consumption of the heart. Next group is empagliflozin and SGLT2 inhibitors, and reduces hospitalization due to heart failure. Next.